Hillbrow, Johannesburg, also famously known as South Africa's red light district. This is where you can find almost anything you're looking for. It's also a stone's throw from some tertiary institutions, making it a student hangout. A year ago, Special Assignment exposed how some students were frequenting Hillbrow's nightclubs, partaking in live sex shows with sex workers, many using their pocket money, some their bursary funds. Prostitution is illegal in South Africa, and we also discovered that the age of consent was not enforced in these clubs. A sex worker would step onto the dance floor and choose someone to have sex with in front of a crowd of onlookers.
After undressing him, we can have sex. Even we can do 3 rounds or 4 rounds there. Nobody's business.
It's illegal, yeah, but it's fun, you know. Most of the things that are fun are illegal, you know.
This week, we bring you an update on these nightclubs in Hillbrow and find out what's happened since our last broadcast. Friday nights in downtown Johannesburg, where there's a flurry of activity with university students wanting to let loose. Vusi, not his real name, was a student last year who admitted he was spending some of his bursary money every month going to live sex shows.
During my spare time, so most of the time we go out with my friends, we go to those clubs like Diplomat, Hillbrow and Maxim.
We met up with him in Soweto. He preferred to talk to us away from prying eyes on campus. For fear of repercussions, he asked that we hide his identity.
What is the main reasons that then makes us to go there? The main reasons is like we like to explore more things about sex and in the different styles with different people.
Taking pictures was forbidden, and other rules did apply.
Rules are like you are asked to use a condom.
We followed him to one of his favorite spots on a Friday night, Maxim Hotel. An entrance fee of 40 Rand gets you in. You could have a drink, watch sports, even buy a sex worker for the night, or watch a strip show every hour. When it was almost midnight, however, it was no longer just a strip show. A sex worker would step onto the dance floor. Vusi and his friends knew exactly what would happen next. The sex worker would choose someone to have sex with as everyone looked on. The DJ in the background cheered them on. Vusi admitted being picked was daunting, but with the help of his mates, it became easier.
My peers will be cheering out, but like, you're lucky, man. You can do it. Go on.
We met 26-year-old Sihle, not his real name. He was no longer in university, but like Vusi, he frequented these clubs during his college days. He told us partaking in these sex shows was a rite of passage for men. He recalled the first time he had to perform.
When I was picked for the first time, it felt like a lot of pressure, you know. You have to do people happy, you know, because that's the aim of why they do these things, to entertain people, you know. So yeah, you feel that sense of responsibility when you're picked.
He admitted it would be impossible to have sexual intercourse in front of spectators without a bit of help.
You can't do those things sober-minded. You know, I don't think I don't think like your intuition will allow you, you know, your conscious. You know, you have those things, you know, they need a plug, you know, yeah, so you have to be intoxicated when you do them.
Sihle said he enjoyed going to the same clubs as Vusi and allowed us to accompany him one Friday night in February, where he happened to get picked by the sex worker. They then had sex. He told us the pressure to perform was real.
Not being able to perform there means like you don't know what you're doing. Even if you have performed elsewhere, maybe in the bedroom, no one saw it, you know. So it's kind of like that thing, you know. if you're a footballer, people need to see you playing, you know. If you perform bad in a match and perform good indoors, it doesn't matter. But if you do perform,
Does it make you feel like a
yeah, it makes you feel like, yes, man, we can go anywhere now. Take me, you'll see, you know, it makes you feel like, yeah, you know.
Does it
Now-
affect your manhood?
Yeah. Pella, that's the only thing that makes men proud.
Last year, we revealed how some students were partaking in live sex shows in bars in the city. Surprisingly, Vusi believed there was nothing unlawful about partaking in these activities.
It's not illegal. That's because some of the people who go there, because they don't have partners or they cannot have partners through a normal relationship. And some just go there to aid their satisfactory.
Sihle, on the other hand, was aware live sex shows are illegal, but he was confident he would never get caught.
Well, the thing is, I've never experienced such a thing, or I've never went there and saw the police, you know, or police near, or police coming inside and wanting to check whatever. I never saw. So that thought, has never occurred to me, that the police can come in and we could be arrested. For me, it's fun. It's illegal, yeah, but it's fun, you know. Most of the things that are fun are illegal, you know.
South Africa has one of the highest statistics of rape and abuse of women in the world. Simpiwe Sinkoyi, a clinical psychologist, said these live sex shows perpetuated gender inequality and may result in severe consequences in future.
Remember, dominance in the contemporary, not in the contemporary, in the social world, is male to female. If a sex worker is a female and then a person wants to participate is a male, even though the sex worker is on stage, the male is still a dominant partner in this encounter. So if someone is doing so to fulfill a certain part of themselves that is lacking, they want to be dominant.
Precious Mahohodi, head of psychosocial support and services at Love Life, an organization that deals with youth and sexuality, was concerned about the message these shows were sending out.
What notions does it perpetuate around issues of gender? And when a young male person feels that they can express themselves publicly in that way, what does it mean for them? And is it the only space where they can explore their sexuality? But it could as well be a way of asserting a male ego power that you otherwise don't know how to express.
We spoke to 31-year-old Beauty, not her real name, who was a former sex worker. She said for 8 years she had worked as a prostitute, performing live and sex shows at Maxim Hotel and Hillbrow Inn.
After undressing him, we can have sex. Even we can do 3 round or 4 round there. Nobody's business.
In front of everyone.
In front of everyone.
And what would everyone be just watching? Would everyone be laughing?
Yeah, everyone being watching you. Is this real, or these people they are playing, or there's something hiding there? You see, yeah, but it's real.
According to her, it's impossible to have sex in front of spectators without the use of drugs.
You can't do it when you are sober. You can't. Even if you are telling yourself that you are professor of a prostitute, you can't.
If you had to then have sex in front of everyone, would you get paid? How does it work?
Of course, because you get paid. Because when they're still there, they're putting the money on you. Yeah, they're putting 100 rand, 50 rand, not more than 50 rand, 100 rand, 50 rand. 200, you're putting it on your there. Yeah.
And so maybe then if you had to, how much would you then make?
Sometimes you make 1.8, not less than 3,000.
But this kind of lifestyle comes with a heavy cost.
To being a prostitute, it's not good. It's not good in life. Wasting our time, playing with our bodies.
Since our broadcast, Vusi says he still frequents these clubs, Sihle no longer attends them, and Beauty has since gone back to sex work. Recently, our investigator discovered another club in inner city Johannesburg called Diplomat. This time, patrons are encouraged to perform any sexual acts with the sex worker, and she's then given a tip for it. According to the Sexual Offences Act, acts like these are unlawful. Attorney Shiraz Vajeth, who specialized in criminal law, explained why.
The strip show itself isn't illegal, provided that it's, just only watching. It becomes illegal once there's a sexual act performed or sexual intercourse performed for financial reward. That's when it becomes an illegal act.
We went to Diplomat to look for the owner, George Branco. We were advised to leave contact details. Within minutes, he called back. Patrons are basically allowed to do any sexual act on the stripper and then pay them.
That's actually very wrong. We don't allow that. Ours is just a plain strip show. I've had millions of inspectors come through. They've gone through the building. I've had that completely over and over. We run an absolute clean business.
Last year, in the absence of feedback from law enforcement agents, we approached two legal experts regarding the legality of sex shows.
The most easily recognizable crime is that of prostitution. That is the easiest one to identify in this situation. Legally speaking, these are unlawful activities. They constitute criminal offences under the Sexual Offences Act, which specifically prohibits these sexual acts and sexual intercourses for financial rewards, and which include tips.
Attorney Junaid Noor Mohammed, on the other hand, was concerned about no identification being required at the door, something our investigator confirmed.
The identity or the age of the persons that are entering are not verified. So you could get persons entering the club that are underage.
Vajeth said checking for identification at the door is at the manager's discretion, but if minors are witnessing these live sex shows, it's illegal because it's pornography. Then there's the issue of public indecency.
It's open to everybody. So anybody can come in and witness this, and they can have intercourse in front of other people as well. That in itself is public indecency. And from my legal opinion, I would say that is definitely illegal.
When approached for comment last year, the city of Johannesburg raised concerns about the illegal sex shows in the city. City spokesperson Ndatisi Mudingwane said they hadn't managed to find these clubs. This despite special assignments having easily managed to locate them. But the seriousness of this matter only became clear when they saw our recorded footage.
James! So are they having live sex?
So students go there and the fun in them getting picked, and then they have live sex in front of everyone.
And that's illegal.
Part of it, I know that they do this, but there's no ways they should be having live sex with it. They can pull you out the audience as part of their show.
You have a look at this.
But there's no ways they can.
Yeah, they're having it. For us, it's an issue of zoning and use.
Yes.
Why are you using a facility for a different function?
Exactly.
It's a land use. You can't do that. I'm shocked personally to see some of this footage. And we trying to get our safety portfolio to look into this issue because there's a lot of contraventions happening.
We also approached the police. They insisted on seeing our footage but declined an interview, said they were investigating. We then approached the owner of the two clubs that we investigated. Both Hillbrow Inn and Maxime are owned by Alan Cookard, who is no stranger to headlines. In the past, allegations of sexual misconduct at his business premises have been made. He initially agreed to an interview, but later referred us to his manager. In this hidden camera footage, he denies the existence of live sex shows at his business.
It's not. No live sex shows.
Normal strips.
So they don't have sex with the patrons.
No. How can you do that? You know, we lose our liquor license. Can't do that. People get carried away, that's their own thing, but we don't allow it.
We phoned the general manager, Marvin Resant. He also claimed not to know about the sex shows.
Don't you people have our news to do, or our human rights stories of people suffering to write about? If people did that, it's obviously not with my consent or with the consent of a business. Even, like I say, I'll stand on the stripping. I don't have a problem with strip shows, not at all. I actually enjoy them myself. I like to waive my rights here and to see how I stand from a legality point, because I don't know, as far as I'm concerned, I could be set up.
Attorney Vijeth said ultimately the onus is on the public to put pressure on the police for them to take action against this illegality.
What should firstly happen is the places need to be shut down. It is an illegal operation and they can't run a brothel, basically. What they're doing is running a brothel, and that is illegal. They cannot carry on with that operation. And secondly, they need to arrest the people involved in it.
But has this actually happened? What action, if any, has been taken by the authorities? A year later, our investigator went back for answers. His first stop was at Maxime to investigate whether the sex shows were happening. There is still no identification required at the door. You can still pay for sex with one of the sex workers. There are still strip shows every hour. In the time he was there, the live sex shows seemed to have stopped, but a source told us they hadn't. Now a stripper performs on the dance floor and pulls someone. But instead of engaging in sexual intercourse, the DJ abruptly stops the show. The next stop was Hillbrow Inn, where the stripper undresses the man, but again they are stopped by the DJ. Following their promise to take action when it first came to their attention, we asked the city of Johannesburg for answers as to what role they had played in eradicating these illegal activities. They said the matter was brought to the attention of police and has become a sensitive issue, that the police are investigating this, that bylaw enforcement did take place, and continues to under Operation Buyisa Ijozi. But how is this possible when sex can still be bought at these clubs? After numerous attempts, the police did not respond to our request for answers. But according to two child rights activists, what is happening in these Hillbrow clubs is far more sinister. Sherilyn Shabangu of Asilweni Cleaning the Streets, an NGO that combats trafficking of people, says Maxime came to their attention when a 15-year-old girl from El Dorado Park allegedly went missing last year.
We had an incident where we got a flyer because we work with missing persons. So we started rolling out that flyer. When we started rolling out that flyer, the tip-offs that we were getting led us to a club in Hillbrow. So when we then sent the police there to actually investigate on what was happening, that is where they found the girl that we were looking for in a club, and she was being prostituted by the boyfriend. She had been missing for almost 2 days. The club is Maxim, and yeah, seems she was already taking drugs at the time, so she was being given drugs so that she can actually do what she's doing.
We asked the manager of both Maxim and Hillbrow Inn about these allegations.
No, I'm not aware of any of it. And as a matter of fact, like I said, the souls you fabricated it yourself with my manager that used to work for me. I have no interest, I have no comment. Thank you, goodbye.
Glenys van Holter, who rescues young people from prostitution, says 20 years ago, her and fellow activists tried to shut down Diplomats because children were being sold for sex there.
So we got a bus and a couple of taxis, and we went to the Diplomat, and we sat down in the street to get noticed. We wanted people to know why we were there. And Tutu and two of the men went into the hotel and brought out an 18-month-old baby who was being used for sex. There were lots of other younger children. The older ones who were there ran out the back because they were scared. They were young. They had been groomed from an early age. They were so used to that life that they didn't think they could go back to school anymore. They thought they had no future. There was nothing for them. And one of the young girls said to me, well, I don't have a home to go to. My mother sold me, so she doesn't want me. What must I do? This is what I know. She was 12 years old. And it shocked me because where are the police? They know it's going on if I know. Where are they? Where's their commitment to our children?
George Bronco, Diplomat's owner, claims he was not the owner when these incidences occurred. He said he knew nothing about the allegations. But until the authorities clamp down on these clubs, the illegal activities continue.